Hi again. It's me. Surprise. Same night, same hoodie, same station. Nice to see you guys. You know, as usual, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. All right. So glad to have you. Thanks for staying up late with me if you're watching this late. Why am I here? Okay. For those of you who know, you already know. For those of you who's this your first video, I'm giving away extra free info. Free information that will benefit you. So I know that your time is valuable. I understand. And so is the information that's going to be talked about in this video. It's going to benefit you by listening to it. So even if you can't watch it now, or you know, you're busy, your day is full, maybe put it on your little watch later, you know, that YouTube option that they give you in the right hand corner, or not. But I invite you to stay. It's going to be a very interesting conversation, and it's beneficial. It's late. It's beneficial information for you that you need to know this information. Okay. And I'm not always going to be discussing it. So get it now. All right, what are we talking about tonight? Why am I here? I have a topic I'd like to talk about with you. For those of you who've seen my videos, you know that I have been researching and reading books on the aspect of mind control and how it is used in modern technology to, you know, to achieve that mind control. So, with no further ado, the topic for tonight is going to be, I'll show you. There'll be a few visual cues in this video. All right, SSS. What does that mean? Like some type of ship or Navy thing? Nope, that stands for silent subliminal sound. Okay, SSS. Silent subliminal sound. So silent subliminal sound is it is a psychotronic weapon. Psychotronic weapons are, excuse me while I refer to my notes here a little bit. Basically, psychotronic weapons are weapons that use signals, electromagnetic frequency signals that are found. You know, the human brain operates off of electromagnetic frequencies, and so does the body when the brain has to give a signal to move a body part. And also our environment is run, much of the electronics is run on electromagnetic frequencies. Like this broadcast, this is possible from an electromagnetic frequency. Same thing when you talk on your cell phone. It's wireless, right? How is it getting the signal across to get to the next phone so they can pick up an answer? It's through frequencies. Okay, they talk to each other. Signals. Signals and frequencies are interchangeable words. So also TV, that's a frequency, right? The actual appliance is electric, runs the appliance, but as you all know, if you don't have the signal coming in, you won't get the programming, right? So frequency. Radio too is all run on frequencies. Okay, we're living in a world of frequencies. Our bodies and our brains operate on frequency signals. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. There is so that's the basics of our talk here. Now, for silent subliminal sound, this is a weapon, psychotronic weapon, that can be used to send a subliminal message into the brain. We'll talk about it and get in detail. All right, so key points. I made a little sheet so that you can follow. Otherwise, it's just me talking, and that can be kind of boring and hard to follow, I know, on these YouTube videos. So I just make a sheet so you can see what we're covering. Not that many points. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, silent subliminal sound. I'm going to get more into that. What is it? Okay. The symptoms of it. That's what that SX. That's like medical code for symptoms, you know, so symptoms, it's plural S at the end anyways. You know, well, how can you tell if this is being ever used on you, right? Nobody wants subliminal sound, subliminal messages going into their brain that you're absorbing without knowing what it is, right? Okay, so we'll talk about the symptoms so you know if it's happening to you or suspect it's happening to you. And then lastly, I'll give you an example of a silent subliminal sound. Right here in the our neighboring state actually has one. One example. There's numerous examples, but one famous one. Okay, So subliminal sound messaging. There's a machine, an apparatus that exists, right, that can send subliminal messages into the human brain. Well, okay, this was made, and this apparatus was patented back in the 70s, I think 1974, and it's an apparatus, a machine, and it's based off of like a frequency modulator. You guys know FM, AM radio? That FM stands for frequency. Remember waves, signals, frequencies, same thing. Brain operates off them, body operates off them, and so does the environment. We're getting this broadcast, you know, courtesy of frequency waves. So FM is frequency modulator. So this machine was created in 74. That was a frequency modulator that allows subliminal, silent subliminal sound messages, okay, to be able to be sent to a person. All right. Directly to their audio cortex, because in my last videos and as we've spoken about, your hearing, your vision, your motor skills are all controlled by different cortexes, different areas in the brain. Okay, like so for the vision, your eyes are in the front, but the actual vision, the part of your brain that controls your vision, is in the back, in the occipital lobe. Okay, and your audio cortex is actually on the side, kind of by the temples, right around where your ears are. So, but it's not your actual ears. It's the audio cortex part of your brain that controls, you know, the audio, hearing things. Okay. So with this machine apparatus, we'll call it apparatus. With this apparatus, they created a way to be able to send in a silent sound of silence. Right? Isn't there a cool song called The Sound of Silence? Yes, there is. I like that song too. I think it's symbolic. All songs pretty much are symbolic. But anyways, silent sound. Maybe that'll help you remember it. If any of you are familiar with that song, just picture that song. The Sound of Silence. Turns out silence isn't so silent. Not in this case, because you're getting a subliminal message. Okay? The funny thing about subliminal messages is that you know, you have a conscious brain, right? The one that we're using right now to walk and talk and interact. Okay, that's your conscious brain. That's what you do consciously. Okay, there's also another part of our brain that's our subconscious brain. It's on a deeper level, right? Okay, so sometimes our subconscious brain will do things, right? You ever hear of like the Freudian slip? Okay, so you know, say there's a subject on your mind, and you're talking about it, but you don't realize you're directly talking about it, but it slips out, you know. Or you heard sometimes like in I don't know, like you'll call somebody by a different person's name, or somebody will call you by a different person's name, and you think to yourself, well, now what the heck, why did you call me that? I'm not Bob, or you know, Bill or Joe or whomever. I'm just using generic names here, okay? Regular generic American names. I also tend to have a lot of Bobs in my family. We have uncles, grandpa, cousins named Bob. It's a popular name. What you gonna do? It's a waspy family, you know? Everybody's a Bob. So anyways, or maybe, yeah, Bob. We'll stick with Bob. I was gonna say John, but let's just stick with Bob. So, now where was I at? What were we talking about? I got off topic here. It's late, and this is like my third video that I'm doing tonight. But this is important. I want you to understand about this subliminal silent sound. So we were saying how it your subconscious hears and obeys messages, you know, sent to it. So you'd like to know. We want to know what's being sent into our brains. With our conscious brains, we hear, we process it, and we act. Oh, I know what I was saying. Like subconsciously, your subconscious works. If something's on your mind, you're thinking about a Bob or whomever, you know, and you're talking to a Tim. Okay, again, just a generic name. I'm just really taking them off the top of my head here. So, okay, you're talking to Tim, and then you say Bob. You know, you call Tim, hey, Bob, can you grab, but you're actually, oh, sorry, Tim, you know, say you're at work or something, you know, this is just non-personal, okay? It's not like a weird situation. It's just at work or something. Oops, sorry, Tim, whatever, I don't know why I called you Bob. Well, it's because maybe in your subconscious, you were thinking of Bob, you know, for whatever reason, some Bob you knew, okay? And for some reason, it's on your mind. So your subconscious blurts it out. That's how it works. That's one of the ways it works. All right. Oh, wow. That car that just went past, the bass was so heavy on it, I can like feel it in the floor. That's a wave, right? A sound wave. Powerful, yeah? We're talking about waves. Waves is another term for frequencies. Frequencies, signals, waves, EMFs, electromagnetic frequencies. Okay, silent subliminal sound. Why would anybody want to send a subliminal message directly into your audio cortex? Well, here's the reason why. Training, research, and development, right? Because it's a psychotronic weapon. You could use that for, I don't know, you can send messages into people, right? You can change their thinking on something. You can maybe affect their behavior on something, right? If it's subconscious too, that's maybe easier because then they won't fight it so much. They can't really. Your subconscious, you don't have that much control over it as you do your regular conscious, okay? We'll talk about that. Now remember, with psychotronic weapons, they are all made, the whole point of them is that they work on your mind, right? Because what is a hot commodity, okay? Ladies, gentlemen, it's not your hot bodies that you work at in the gym. It's not your looks. It's not your wealth. It's not your amount of education. It's none of that. It is, what are they after? This, okay? This is the brain. This houses our personality, our hopes, our dreams, our, our lives, what makes us, joyful and peaceful. Everything that makes us, us, all the individual, unique people that we are, it's all right here, okay? People talk about the heart often in literature, my achy breaky heart, listen to your heart, which I do not like that song because the heart can be one of the most treacherous things. You do not want to listen to your heart sometimes. You want to use your brain power, okay? Use this. And anyways, the heart can't really think, right? That's just an emotion. I think what that's referring to, the figurative heart, is probably your emotional state when you're making decisions and whatnot, which is important. We need a heart. Can't live without your emotions, right? So, but yeah, so the brain is how these weaponry works, okay? So when you picture your brain, picture the actual organ, this thing. This is what's housed up here in your cranium, okay? And then also the brain works on an electromagnetic level. Here we go. All right, that means that every time you think a thought or feel an emotion, mad, sad, glad, all your millions of thoughts, you want ice cream, your shopping list, this, that, they all give off an electromagnetic frequency when you think them. Doesn't matter, small thought, big thought. They're all electromagnetic frequencies, okay? So, and then if you want to think of the brain on this level, you see, with the signals, the brain is able to make signals when thoughts and emotions, and it's able to receive signals in, okay? So that's what that silent subliminal sound is. It's a signal to the part of the brain, audio cortex, right? Straight through there. Okay, so again, this is the brain, picture of it, and this is how some of the functions that it takes care of. If you notice, like in the pink, that's the vision center of the brain, which is in the back. Funny because the eyes are in the front, but the vision part is in the back. That works because of the laws of refraction and all that. So yeah, hang on, sorry guys. All right, there we go. Got it. My head was looking funny or something, like I had no neck. Can I actually have, okay, I have a neck. I have a neck, I have 10 fingers. I'm good. Oh yeah. So yeah, this is the different parts of the brain. What this chart is showing. And the audio cortex, these are the different cortexes, okay? And the audio cortex, auditory in this picture, is the blue one. So it's right there, kind of in the temporal region where the ear would be. So it's there, but it's a part in the brain. It's not the actual organs, okay? What we think of when we think of hearing, we think of these. But it's actually an area inside of the brain. Okay, another picture of the brain, just because I thought this one was interesting. Some of you guys have seen this before in my other videos. I keep bringing it up because it's a good one. Again, it talks about the different areas of the brain and what it controls. So again, in the back, that's the brain stem. That controls your breathing and everything. In the back, that big area, that's your vision. The top back half is touch. The top front half, the top front half is movement. The very front, right, this, what do they call this when you, I forget. Anyways, the front of your brain controls all your attention, your planning, your decision making, like all the smart stuff. That's in the front, right there. So, and then there's a big part dedicated to memory processing, right? If where our brains are like computers and we're storing memories all the time, so we need big storage for that, right? So it's not surprising that it's a big portion in there. All right, and then again, hearing. There's the auditory cortex, which is how this silent subliminal sound machine works, because it's sending signals, you know, frequencies in directly right to your cortex, audio cortex. Okay? And how is it doing that? Again, with electromagnetic frequencies. Electromagnetic frequency is every time the brain thinks a thought or has an emotion, that's in a frequency. Every time your body part moves, that means your brain sent the frequency to the body part to make it move. Okay? And then also our environment, how we're getting this broadcast across is through frequencies. So very, very important. It's my favorite word of 2018. Electromagnetic frequencies. Because why? Because we're talking mind control. And that's how it's done with electromagnetic frequencies, because our brain operates off of them and the environment operates off of them. So what they figured out, and even with this nifty machine here, this SSS, if you can manipulate the signal into the brain, you can directly affect it. Like this case, they're sending silent subliminal sounds. Okay, why is that again? How are they able to do that? Because the brain is like a big antenna, right? It receives signals and it makes its own. Okay, so it can receive the silent subliminal sound. It's silent. I'll explain why it's called silent in a minute, because you're like, well, if it's silent, how can it be heard? Because remember, your subconscious hears it. That's why it's called silent subliminal. That's what's meant by subliminal, is that your subconscious hears it, which also makes it highly dangerous. Because when your subconscious hears commands and suggestions, okay, which commands, right? When it hears that, it tends to obey them. That's not good if you're not controlling it, right? You always want to be in control of your mind and your vessel, right? That's the one gift that our Creator gave to us. We want to keep that. All right? We've been able to thus far, more or less, you know, but we're reaching an age actually where that is we got machinery, psychotronic weapons like this that put that at risk. So silent subliminal sound is a form of electromagnetic frequency sent directly in, and it's reaches the subliminal mind, so the subconscious. Okay, underneath. You got the, you know, your conscious brain right out in the front. That's what we're using to talk with and right now and engage, and you know, our brain, our awake brain. But there's also a subconscious brain under the brain. So silent subliminal sound. What happens is a sound wave frequency is sent in directly to the audio cortex, as we just talked about. The subconscious hears it and obeys it. All right. And it's done with, this is just another picture, radio wave. You guys like that song, Radio Waves? I think it's by Roger Waters. It's a good song. Radio Waves. It's an older one. It's like 70s. I think it's Rogers. Maybe he might be from Pink Floyd. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's a good song. So check it out one of these days. Yeah. So radio waves. They're electromagnetic waves or frequencies, because remember, they're interchangeable. The verbiage. They travel at the speed of 186,000 miles per second through the air. Okay, so they're going fast. They're waves. They're waving by as they're going. Right? Come on, you gotta have fun with this. Pretty simple though. It's a simple concept. Electromagnetic frequencies run the brain, the body, and the environment, which is they've learned to manipulate them, and that's how they can be turned into psychotronic weapons, right? Just another example, the environment, boom. There's little, those little symbols, right? You see that on your phone? That's when it's looking for Wi-Fi. That's because Wi-Fi is a signal, okay? So you notice there's a drone right there. There's a tower. There's another tower. You know, all this in our environment, even inside the person's home, you can see that little Wi-Fi, little frequencies are pumping out, right? She's got her lamp, and then the TV, of course, looks like a radio. Yeah, So we're getting it all the time in every direction. That just shows you how prevalent it is in our society now, our advanced technological society that we are living in. So it's good for you to not know this would actually be a danger for you. You know, it would not be good. You need to know how the world works. The world is working very much off of these. My favorite word, 2018, EMFs, electromagnetic frequency. I wish it wasn't so long, but it is. Okay, who cares? That's why we got the acronym. EMF. And it doesn't really flow off, you know, no. EMF, like you almost have to say it slow, you know, because each syllable has to be pronounced. Like it, learn it. Favorite word, EMF. All right, so the EMFs are sending in frequencies. The EMFs are going directly into your audio cortex while they're being sent by someone right into your audio cortex. Okay, but again, how is it silent? Okay, let me explain. Actually, I give you an example. It's going to show up as a symptom, right? So that's in our key points. Symptoms here. What are the symptoms of this being used on you, this apparatus, right? Since it's sending subliminal messages, you probably want to know how to recognize it if it's happening. Okay, well, here's how it sounds. Now remember, you have your conscious brain and you have your subconscious brain underneath, okay? So your conscious brain will hear this. Tinnitus, you know, boop, something like that, or even a little lighter, right? You hear a pitch, you hear it. It's maybe faint. Sometimes it could be strong, you know, depending how close they are, how much they want to broadcast that message. Boop. So your conscious brain will hear that. Tinnitus. Many times it's not tinnitus. Okay. Boop. That's what your conscious brain hears. And because it's sent by a frequency. With this apparatus, made in 1974, what ends up happening is that on a subconscious level, when it reaches a certain point, there's a message. Actually, somebody records a message with their voice, and they could, and your subconscious hears the actual voice, the message underneath that's hidden in the frequency. So your conscious brain, you can listen all day. What is it saying? What is it? No, it's not saying anything. It is, but your conscious brain can never hear it because of the frequencies, the way that our brains are made in the audio cortex. And they're doing it on purpose, right? It's a silent subliminal sound. They want it to go to your subliminal conscious, not your conscious. Because if it goes to your conscious, you can stop it, right? This is sneaky stuff. So your conscious brain hears, ooh, or, softer, right? You hear it. Oh, my ear's ringing. The heck? Oh well. Well, your subconscious brain just might be getting a secret hidden message. Wow. Cool. Thanks. I heard it, but I didn't hear it. What was it? Okay. So there's an example of a building, a famous building. I'm not going to get into where and who and what and all that. You guys can research it, although it is hard to find. But it happens a lot all the time. There's a famous tunnel, okay, when people are walking through it. And so the tunnel, in order to not get backlogged and have an accident or have a riot or something like that, they have to keep the people moving, like cattle. You got to keep them, otherwise, people, we start, at least I start getting distracted, start looking around and stuff. And, especially, if it's a big place, you want to see what's around you. This is cool. Look at that. Wow. All right. So but you can't do that because the area is so, congested. You have to keep it moving. So they employed a silent subliminal sound machine, apparatus, whatever verbiage you like. I suppose we should use apparatus. Hang on, I want to show it to you again. Hold on. No. Where is it? Hold on. I got some stuff I got to work on. But okay, so ta-da, silent subliminal sound. So this building or this place, it's a tunnel, and so it gets congested, and to keep the people moving, they send out a silent subliminal sound. Okay, so silent, you actually hear the sound. If you're walking through the tunnel with your friend, you both would hear boop. Okay, just like that message that comes on TV sometimes, they'll interrupt your programming. You know, this is an emergency message from the broadcasting, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's, it will sound like that. That's what you'll hear with your conscious brain. No matter how hard you listen, you can strain it, but you're not. Okay, you can't. It's set up. They did it on that. They did it purposely, so it goes to your subconscious, so that you'll listen and obey it. Hidden in the frequencies, the voice is saying, keep walking. Your brain never hears it. What'd you hear? All I heard was boop. What'd you hear? Same thing, boop. Okay, but again, hidden in the silent subliminal sound, silent because it's hidden in the frequencies, it says keep walking. And your subconscious hears it, it obeys it, and it keeps walking. Silent subliminal sound. That's an example. Okay, so yeah. There's also an example in that. So that's my one big example. But there's also another example in music. Most of us like music. It's pleasant, can be relaxing, can be stimulating. Gotta be careful because it can. Well, anyways, music. Music is done with frequencies. Okay, remember EMFs. It's all about frequencies. So in music, sometimes there is something called backmasking. Okay, backmasking is when you include you adjust the frequencies to do something different. Excuse me. You adjust the frequencies to so that my goodness. So backmasking is when you would adjust, when whoever makes the music would adjust the frequencies to play a different message, like if you did something like play it backwards. Okay, that's a real thing. Or if you play it slowly, you can hear a message hidden in the frequencies. There's a couple of popular music pieces, songs. There's a couple songs. Why is she being loud at this moment? For goodness sakes. Something going on here. I have my, anyways, you don't need to know. Sounds of life, right? Okay, so in music, there is backmasking, where messages can be hidden in the frequencies if you play the record or the music backwards, or if you play it at a very slow rate or a speeded up rate. You know, it's hidden in the frequencies so that it's silent sound. Your regular brain will still hear the actual song, but then when it's slowed down or backmasked, you can hear it at a different frequency, and then you'll hear the hidden message. Okay, so that's what this machine is, or apparatus. It is the silent sound of silence. It's the SSS, and not the SSS minnow like on Gilligan's Island. This one's a little bit more, a little less Gilligan, a little more 21st century. That's right. That's right. Okay, so who would do this? Who in the heck wants to send somebody a subliminal message to their brain that they, why didn't you just call me on the phone? Why didn't you just tell me? Why do you got to be doing it all subliminally? Okay, just tell me. Who does this? Who always does this? Ta-da. Okay, I like this picture. I don't like, I like it as an example, as a learning tool. This is, you guys know who this is, most of you. This is Smeagol, right, from the movie The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Lord of the Rings is also very symbolic. Research it. Be careful if you watch this movie. It is full of spiritism, so you want to be probably only maybe watch it, if at all, once or twice. I don't know. Just be careful anyways. I don't want to dissuade or encourage or whatever. Just be aware, okay, that does carry a level of spiritism in it, and spiritism can be dangerous because you can draw in things that you don't necessarily, you don't want to draw in bad things, right? Okay, so, ta-da, Smeagol, okay, this is what your perps end up looking like when you are, when you're being harassed. So somebody that would want to send a silence, I picture them looking like this. And I've actually dealt with a lot of perps, especially as of lately, and they do tend to get this type of, demeanor about themselves. They get very focused, hyper-focused, they get very obsessed, and they get very wicked looking. Look at the look in his eye. Don't look for too long. Don't let her do. It's okay. We're strong. We got this. You know what I mean? We got the power in Jehovah's name, right? Okay. But again, this is just an artist representation, but you know probably what it was based off of, right? This character. Look at the eyes. They're not right. Okay. That's who would do this type of thing. A perpetrator. And don't get it twisted, though. They don't always look like Smeagol. Sometimes they could be handsome, right? You never know. Or they could be attractive. Excuse me a moment. Hey, I'm just going to put you on hold for, okay?
Why?
I'm right in the middle. Oh my gosh, you're ruining my video. You're doing it on purpose. Hang on a second, okay? Give me like 10 minutes. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Aw. She's a good mother. She's a good mother. She is. She's funny. And now she's playing the music. Excuse me a minute. Mom, I'm doing a video right now. Can you cut the radio for like 10 minutes? Because I can hear it and I'm trying to record a video. I don't want to start over, you know?
Alright.
Alright, give me a moment. Thanks. Like 10 minutes. Whatever. I don't know how to use the editing tool, so you guys are going to see this part in the video. It's my mommy. Probably she was sent in a subliminal message to start acting up right now, you know, to ruin the video. Not that she wanted to, but maybe she got a little EMF, like, oh, call right now. It's not her fault. You know, we're all under this EMF stuff. Whatever. Forget about it. It's mass mind control, right? Again, who in the heck wants to send us subliminal messages directly to our audio cortex? People like this, but they don't always look like this. This is a good way to tell he's a perp, right? I mean, look at him. If you don't know he's a perp, then we got a problem, okay? Now, not being funny, but I know some people. I have some family that like to hang around like really dangerous, like sketchy people, you know? Like I look at them and I see this, you know? Like most people. My family be like, oh yeah, I'll be your friend. I mean, not that you should judge people and you want to be friends with a lot, you know, you want to be inclusive and loving and, you know, to everybody. But if somebody's dangerous, you know, look at their eyes. Like, no, you cannot be my friend. Does he look like he wants to be friends? No. Safety, people. Safety. Okay. So silent subliminal sound. You understand how it works and everything, right? Okay. It's a frequency modulator machine, FM, just like FM radio. Why? Because it's modulating frequencies. The brain operates on frequencies. The body operates on frequencies to move every body part. The environment, like this broadcast, operates on frequencies, EMFs. So this machine, the SSS, operates on, it's a FM machine, a frequency modulator that can send silent sound. It's not silent to your, it's silent. The sound technically is not silent because to your conscious brain, you're going to hear the boop, but you won't hear the actual message that's recorded. The message that's recorded by the hypnotist or whoever recorded it, you know, Smeagol or whoever's got you on this program or put you on remote. We went over that in other videos. They're going to have recorded a message and that can go directly into your audio, excuse me, not here, your audio cortex, right? It'll go right in there. And then your subconscious will hear the message and respond. All right, no big deal, right? Okay. So what's the message though? What's the message? You know, they want to send it to you so bad. They made a machine. They focused it on you. They sent it into you. What's the message so much they're trying to deliver? Why couldn't you just call me in person? You know, why don't you come to my house? Why can't we talk about this? Why would you just send it right to my audio cortex? What's so important? Is it an emergency? Who knows? Who knows what's in the message? That's the part that's terrifying. You'll never know because unless you have a frequency unraveling machine, which there obviously exists one, but usually the average person doesn't have access to that. Although maybe Now that I'm thinking, you know, again, legislation needs to be made on these new psychotronic weapons. We are living in the 21st century. We are coming up on 2019. Obviously, technology is in full swing. Okay, they figured out how to do brain-computer interface. You know, they said, I remember reading something recently, and it said within the decade, okay, within the decade, so by 2029, we'll be able to make phone calls directly from our heads to other people's. Okay, so you won't need the phone. You won't need the actual phone anymore, right? You won't need this. What's this? Well, this operates again on frequencies, right? You don't need to think. Okay, this operates on frequencies. Okay, so there's no cords here. Where's the cord? How is it working? I mean, you could technically call across the country on this phone. How does that happen? Through frequencies. How are we getting this broadcast through? Through frequencies. Okay, so the power of frequencies. And it's interesting, and it's a good weapon. It's an awesome weapon because, for one thing, it's invisible. If somebody's using this on you, which is the symptoms I explained to you, the tinnitus, that's the only way you'll be able to tell is you'll hear that, you know, that buzzing, and but you won't know what the message is unless you have a way to. Now I'm getting actual buzzing right now. So funny, right? You'll know it. Obviously, you know what a ringing sound in your ear sounds like. Almost like a dog whistle. You know how dogs can hear things at higher, different frequencies than humans and whatnot? Same type of idea. So, again, this is a psychotronic weapon, and it's invisible. So it makes a pretty good weapon, right? Because you have to prove it's being used, you know? It's hard to attack a weapon that you can't see, right? Or to defend yourself against a weapon you can't see. That's why one of the reasons I made this video is so that you know that it exists. You know, somebody sending a silent subliminal sound message directly into your audio cortex that you never heard, that could be dangerous, because what's in that subliminal message, that silent subliminal sound? You know, because the person records a message. They literally sit there at a machine and, you know, like a broadcaster, and, you know, keep walking. They make messages. What's in these messages? That's the scary part, because you'll never know. Legislation needs to be made, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want anybody putting anything into my subconscious without my permission. I don't know what you're putting up there. It's my body, right? For what it's worth, I think we're all in unison on that, right? Does anybody want silent subliminal sounds sent to their, you know, cortex that they don't know what was sent in there? No, nobody wants that. We're going to save this one. Save that picture. Yeah, so that was it. Real simple. I think, was there anything else? No, I think that was it. We're good. We're going to keep this one short today. You know what I always say? I say to stay smart, because you are smart, so just stay that way. You're going to stay that way by doing your research, right? Whatever it is. If you got to watch, you know, 10 YouTubes, whatever, watch them. My suggestion, not that you asked, but if you're going to do research, especially on something like technology, is maybe to get out like a pen and a paper, you know, a little pad, and then take notes as you watch the video, because a lot of it's so can be kind of intricate. So, but it's fun though. It's fun learning. But I don't know. Get out a pen and paper maybe. Do your research. All right. And I want to say thank you. Thanks for spending this time with me. Okay. And again, this information is valuable, and so is your time. So thanks for listening. If you get a chance, hit like if you found this information beneficial, and maybe subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of information. Okay. I don't know. It's all about, you know, mind control type of things and all that. So if you have a mind, which I know you do because you're smarty, then maybe you want to know about this. Maybe not, but if you do, hit like and subscribe. You can also comment. I'd love to hear what you got to say. If you have any suggestions for me, books or movies or anything, I'd like to hear it. Another thing I'll just leave off, I am about to start a new book just in time for the new year. This is a popular book for any of you who are literature people who enjoy reading and whatnot. So I haven't read this one. It's fiction. It's by, well, I'll just show you the title so you can see it. It's very popular. Brave New World. I think it's it's good timing as we're getting towards the new year. So it says something, yeah, I don't know. I'll sum it up maybe if it's a good book, but it's a classic, so it's everybody says it's a good book. We'll see. I believe them. I'm just going to read it myself, and if I find it interesting enough, I will summarize it. Okay. So thanks for your time tonight, and yeah, remember that silent subliminal sound. Okay, and appreciate you guys. Hit like, subscribe. You know you want to. Come on, do it. That's a form of subliminal conscious too. That's more like direct messaging. You know, I'm trying to influence you, suggest to you, right? Which sometimes we get prickly. Like, don't suggest anything to me. I can suggest my own stuff. You can. I trust that you can. If you like my video, if you benefited from watching my video, which I know that you did. I know that you did. And I prepared it a little bit. You know, I did. I looked this stuff up. If you liked it, if you benefited from it, hit like, okay, and subscribe. And comment if you like. I'd love to hear it. Okay? Have a good weekend. Thanks. Bye.